Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose, and this is my review for Megan 2.0, a sequel, of course, to the original. Megan came out through 2 or 3 years ago. Which kind of caught everyone by surprise. I enjoyed it. Obviously, we're dealing with this robot named Megan, who was designed solely to kind of help a young girl grieve over the loss of her parents and kind of help her out, be her friend, if you will. And she takes the overprotection to a new level, ends up killing a bunch of people who may be a threat to the little girl and all that. And she was presumably disposed of at the end of the first film, but of course not, because everything has to get a sequel. And why not? Of course, this one, I like the original Megan. It was actually a little bit of a surprise, kind of a, I won't go as far as to say it was a horror film, but definitely kind of a thriller with horror elements to it, which is what you expect. That's something from Blumhouse Productions, of course. This one here, of course, we got Megan returning back, and who wasn't really there, but just out there in the ether, wherever, if you will, always keeping watch over, of course, the young girl now who's a young teenager, and of course, the mother, played by Allison Williams, of course, who designed Megan to begin with. She's a robotics computer expert, or whatever the case is, engineer, whatever you want to call it. And the time is needed for her to kind of come out of the shadows, because there's another sentient AI-ish robot out there who designed by the military, or being used for the military for its purposes, but kind of goes rogue, out of pretty much self-aware, and is out there doing nefarious things and going after anybody who may have something to do with her creation, or whatever the case is. So now that means Allison's character and the daughter are in danger. So of course Megan comes to save the day, and of course they have found a way to work together to try to defeat this new foe. And that's kind of the basics of the film. There's a lot more to it, but I don't want to spoil it too much. Listen, I gotta say, I can't say I was really looking forward to this one. I was that big a fan of Megan. I'm not sure if there was a big following for Megan. I'm sure there is. But like if you've seen the trailers, this movie goes in a different direction than the original did, and I for myself appreciate that, because they're not rinse and repeat here, right? It's not just, okay, Megan's back killing people and basically that's it. It goes way more beyond that. It's just more of a kind of a spy-ish kind of action film with a lot of comedy in there, and it really kind of leans in on that, what made the first Megan kind of interesting, right? The character itself, and it goes all into that genre, if you will, kind of dumps the horror-ish, just basic thriller angle. Whether you think that's something that you want or not, would kind of decide where you want to go see this film or not, because the trailer does make it seem like a complete different film, and it is, and I liked it for that reason. Well, I like that anyway. One of the reasons why I liked the film, because overall I did enjoy it. It was actually a pretty good time with the theaters. I mean, I liked the different approach it took to it. They really leaned into it. Is it dumb and silly at times? Of course it is. The whole premise is ridiculous. Even the robot itself is ridiculous, right? But it's funny. They find it very entertaining. They really leaned into that comedy, particularly with Megan. And it's very sarcastic, and how she approaches everyone and talks to everybody. I really like that. The action is cool. Nothing special, but it's cool. And then and has a lot of interesting ideas about AI and humanity, how to kind of coexist, because inevitably that's what's, we see all things about AI out there, and we've heard about AI for years. We see all these movies and stuff about AI and what could happen, the negatives about what can happen, but it does kind of tackle that issue head on, in terms of, because even Addison's character, after she had to kind of clear her name from all the stuff that happened because of Megan, and now she's kind of a anti-AI, so wants more regulations and all that, and that's the purpose behind her now. But she really kind of understands, what it means for humanity to work together with AI, and that's the basis of the film, and one of the themes of the film, and I really like that. But again, it's very enjoyable. It's nothing out of this world. I think if you like the original Megan and are willing to open yourself up to something a little bit different with the character, I think you might get a lot of enjoyment out of this. It's not a way I'm saying go run to the theater and watch it, but it's fun, it's stupid, it's entertaining. It's about 2 hours, a little bit too long. It kind of wore out its welcome in the third act. They could have cut that down a little bit, at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the film, and a little bit tighter. But ultimately, it's fun, and I think that's, as far as pure basic entertainment, yeah, nothing special about it, but it's a good time. It's definitely worthy of watching, if nothing else, even at home when it comes out on streaming. Particularly if you're a Megan fan, you might be not exactly clamoring for the sequel. I don't think anyone's clamoring for it, but at least you're gonna be entertained by it if you can just kind of get past the fact that it's kind of dumb and ridiculous at times. But that's what it's going for, right? It does it on purpose. So you either accept it or you don't. Ultimately, I did. I enjoyed it for what it was, so I think you guys might too. So if you guys go watch it, comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.